Yo, this is Spanky Hayes. Yeah, that guy. Faux Pac, the funniest guy ever, ... yada, yada, yada. You're watching Knockouts and 3 Counts. Well, you're not watching it, you're listening to it. But you're listening so hard that you can see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kyle.
Knockouts and 3 Counts, motherfucker. Yeah, and Siri doesn't understand.
Well, Siri, this is Knockouts and 3 Counts, where we talk wrestling and MMA. And
Informer.
And I am your host, Devin McKenzie. I'm also joined by Mr. Kyle Collison. And Siri.
Last I checked, am I not one of the hosts of this motherfucker?
Well, no, I'm trying to explain to Siri real quick.
All right, okay,
but,
okay, I get you.
But while we're at it, why don't you tell Siri your social media and anything that you have going on, Kyle?
Look here, Siri, follow me, bitch, at Detroit Knockout. At Detroit NOKOUT. Make sure you're following the show on all our social media as well at KO3C Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and Knockouts and 3 Counts Podcast on Facebook and KO3CPod.com. And since it's been brought to our attention that it's been hard for some of our listeners to get to us on iTunes, we'll have that figured out real soon too.
All right. And hey, Siri, I'm Devin. You can find me on Twitter at Devin63. That's DEVINTHE63. You can also find me on Instagram at Allsteak, no sizzle. That's all one word. No spaces, none of those weird.
He's literally talking to Siri.
Yeah, I'm really talking to Siri right now. Siri, matter of fact, Siri, if you like talking wrestling on Facebook, join our Facebook group, Reality Era News. Yes.
What the fuck is the show come to when we're talking to Siri? All you motherfuckers are watching us, but we're talking to Siri.
Wait, hold on. Well, I'm going to pull up my Google phone. Alexa.
I believe the trigger is, okay, Google.
Oh, okay, Google. Oh, yeah, I forgot I had that set up.
She said,
anyway.
Fuck you, bitch.
But what else we have coming up? Oh, yeah, make sure everybody you come out to the Copeland Center in Wyandotte on December 29th. We will be there live for BCWA Cataclysm. Got to use the voice on that one. Cataclysm. Our guest next week, the mysterious Movado, will be making his BCWA debut there.
He will.
Definitely.
And he'll be in studio with us, so watch it. It'll be funny to watch.
Yes, sir.
For sure. That's guaranteed.
Fellow Podcast Detroit member Orlando Christopher will be there. And Tony Thunder. If you haven't seen Tony Thunder wrestle, make sure you come on out and check out Mr. Thunder at BCWA. So come on out, show some love. Show some
He actually
support.
got some shit in last time.
Yeah. I was proud of him, man. I think I'm pulling for Tony to win that belt, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Title.
I mean, I think it would be cool. And then I feel like he should do like Shane Douglas and rename it the Knockouts and 3 Counts title. Fuck you! It's not ECW. It's Knockouts and 3 Counts.
We might have to send Tony a message off air.
He should be listening or on the show with us, But I mean, if he were listening, he would know this.
Hashtag.
Where's Tony?
Hashtag life stuff. But yeah, enough jibber jabber, man.
Yeah,
Any other announcements we got to make, man? Anything? You can think of?
Shout out to Angie Jennings, past guest of the show. She's fighting December 15th in Florida for XFN. Also, shout out to Marco Smallman, who's going to war for Cage Fury, which is the promotion who picked up where they got Mickey Gall from the Look for a Fight series. So Marco will be going to war in Atlantic City. So yeah, go fuck some shit up.
Actually, I need to find out where I can watch that card.
Fight Pass.
I gotta order Fight Pass. Because one of my favorite female fighters, Jamie Colleen, is on there. You seen her on Dana White's Contender Series? I think she's the co-main event on that card. So shout out to her. Well, with all that, let's jump into. You want to jump in MMA or wrestling first? Your choice.
Well, I mean, shit. We always do wrestling. Well, wrestling's gonna take a while though.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start
I guess
off
we have to stay with the status quo.
We'll
Ain't
start
that
off
a
with
bitch?
MMA. Well, before we start off with MMA, anything going on in your life you want to talk about, man? Anything we need to have a therapy session about,
Oh
man?
fuck!
I mean, I'm not saying anything in particular. Just,
fuck. That would take all fucking day. Shit. So no, let's not.
Okay.
But yeah,
all right. You want to start off with UFC 231?
that works.
All right. UFC 231 this past weekend. 2 title matches. We kind of touched on those 2 title matches on last week's show. Let's start off with the women's match.
Okay.
Valentina Shevchenko, say that 7 times fast,
Valentina
versus Joanna
Shevchenko,
Jędrzejczyk.
Valentina Shevchenko, Valentina Shevchenko, Valentina Shevchenko.
Good job.
I tried, but
Wait, Randy's not here right now. Would put the audience applause in there.
oh fuck, I tried.
Now try this one. She faced off against
Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
All right, it's close enough.
Fuck, I can't do it.
Shevchenko versus Jędrzejczyk.
You can't.
Close enough. Shevchenko came away with the victory, man. She's now the women's flyweight champion. What were your thoughts on the fight?
I think Valentina Shevchenko owned her. I think she was clearly the physically stronger fighter. My biggest takeaway from the fight, not that I thought she couldn't wrestle, but just all the fucking takedowns Shevchenko hit her with. Like, she's known as a tie striker, and for her to just toss her around like that and then dominate her on the ground, because Joanna couldn't do shit once they went to the ground.
Right.
That was the thing for me. I was just surprised with that.
Yeah, that's definitely a smart strategy on her part, man. Joanna's a great striker.
Both are. They
Valentina
fought 3 times in Muay Thai.
Yeah, Valentina. Shevchenko, she's a great striker as well. So the two of them, basically, that canceled each other out. So who could bring the other element to the match that would be the one that took the balance?
She tossed her
she
on
was
some of
taking
them
her down.
takedowns. Like, they weren't like little shitty takedowns. Like, she tossed her a few times. So I think it was a great performance.
And
Although Joanna fought like a G. Like,
oh yeah,
she's still
definitely.
tough.
She ain't going out like no hoe. You know what I'm saying? But definitely size was definitely a factor as well. I didn't know Valentina had takedown abilities like that. I don't think I've ever really seen her use it like that in many of her fights. So, hey, definitely.
Well, because usually she just beats the shit out of chicks. Like, she doesn't need to wrestle them. She just beats the shit out of them.
Right, but it's the perfect game plan because, like, we really haven't seen Joanna go to the ground like that.
Not even just because we haven't seen her with that. When you fight somebody 3 times, you kind of get to a point where you're like, I know what this person's going to do.
Right.
I don't think, in my personal opinion, I don't think that Joanna was expecting, Valentina to throw her like that.
I don't think anybody expects to get thrown around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that that's something she was looking at. So because she wasn't ready for it, if that's the case, I mean, that's a hell of a game plan.
So I guess the question now is, especially usually after these fights, what's next for both people? We'll start off with Joanna. She moves up to this weight class, 125, and she's kind of small for that division. Does she cut back down to 115? I know they were saying that her cut to 115 was really, really hard on her, so this is probably a easier cut for her. But if she's going to end up being kind of small for that division, do you think she should go back down to 15 and try there again?
See, but that's where the whole argument that everyone's got with creating more weight classes comes in, because that's the problem. And I've personally experienced that kind of stuff, and it does make a difference when, if you're not someone who's like naturally strong, like how do I
like a Jessica Andrade almost?
Yeah, I guess I just put it this way. Like, okay, I can only speak for my own experiences, but like for me, I never knew, like, the same with boxing, it was the same with jiu-jitsu. I didn't know that I was as strong as I was, right?
Right.
Like, people would always tell you you're strong, but you don't ever really know your own strength. Problem with that is, unless you're someone who's naturally strong like that, like, what's a good example in the UFC? Somebody who's just...
Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, but I was trying to use, like, a household name.
Cyborg.
Mr. Clean.
Okay, that works. Cyborg works, but yeah, like you got somebody that's that naturally strong, they may be able to hold it off. But for
Brawny paper towel guy.
yeah, that guy too.
He's what you call country strong.
But yeah, when you got somebody that's naturally strong like that, they can get out of a lot of situations or be able to hold their own. But when you got someone who's naturally bigger than that weight class and is cutting down to make it that way, dude, even if you're strong, they still are naturally bigger and stronger than you. So then they're tossing you around, and I feel like,
But she should go back down to 15.
Go on.
I don't know what I don't know, because didn't you hear the thing they were saying they were supposed to create? I don't know what it would be, but they were going to create a couple more female weight classes.
But like in between the ones they already have.
Yeah, because they.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, well, they've been talking about doing that in all the weight classes. That's why.
So maybe have like a 120
I don't know
division. One.
I don't know what the weight would be, but yeah, that's why I think there's always that argument with the weight. But I mean, it just depends on how bad that weight cut fucks Joanna up.
Yeah, from what I was hearing, it said she was only taking in like 1,000 calories a day to get down to 115.
Wow.
So I mean, you think about
And put that with all the training and shit.
Exactly.
Holy God.
and from what I was hearing, that basically this was one of her best camps because she didn't have to basically destroy her body to get down to 115. You know, fighting at 125 is a better natural weight for her. But I don't know. I guess for me, I guess a fight that I would like to say, and that's why I kept saying it, Jessica Andrade.
Okay.
But Jessica Andrade, it could be the exact same problem. Like Jessica Andrade is big and strong for that division. So, and you got to remember, Jessica Andrade was fighting at 135, and now she was cutting down to 115. So 125 to me is like her perfect weight class. Could be a bad fight for Joanna, but it could be a good challenge for her too. That's a fight I would like to see.
And the thing for Joanna is she can make 125 work. Like,
Yeah.
obviously with her going to 125, that means she has more leeway in the way her cut is going to go.
Right.
So,
But she's definitely going to have to work on takedown defense and
well, that's a
and
given. That's a given.
that's one thing
But
she's
I
definitely
just
got to
meant
work on.
as far as trying to match strength with some of the bigger fighters that they're going to have at 125, I feel like she should maybe try to focus a little more on strength and conditioning so that, she can be stronger to match those people.
Okay. Anybody you can think of that you want to see her fight?
Valentina or Joanna?
What do you mean by those people?
Oh, God. Leave it to Randy.
Sorry, I had some bourbon before the show.
Drunk Randy!
Yeah. Man, you know what? You keep talking. I'm going to go get me some too. No, I'm joking. But for Joanna, who do you see next for her? Who would you like to see her fight?
At 125. I don't know. Maybe
Maybe Nico
Nico. Maybe Holly Holm.
at 125?
Or no, that's right. No, she went to 45. I'm sorry. I got my weight classes mixed up.
I'm like,
I'm
talk
sorry.
about a weight cut.
Don't
man.
mind me. I fucking brain lapsed for a minute. But
talk about a weight
the
cut
one
for
you
your
mentioned
ass.
would be a great fight, though.
What, Jessica or Nico?
Either one. I like either one of those fights. I think it's just going to take Joanna some time to get acclimated to that weight class.
Okay. What about Valentina? What do you see next for her?
I don't see anybody at 125 fucking with her personally.
Ooh. Damn. That Jessica Andrade in that one? Maybe Nico versus Andrade have a fight?
Nico will get fucking smoked if she fought Valentina.
I think so, too.
Nico's a cool girl. Like, don't get me wrong.
Right.
From everything I've seen, I like her. But I'm sorry. I think Valentina would fuck her up.
It might have to get someone else that's cutting down from 135 to move down to 125.
Oh, it would have to be. It would have to be because I just feel like at that weight class, from what I saw Saturday, I'm not saying she absolutely killed Joanna because she didn't. But what I'm saying is with the strength that I saw and the takedown ability matched with her pre-existing Muay Thai experience like that, dude, she's going to be a problem for anybody at that fucking weight class.
What do you think about Jessica I, who fought on the
I
same
like her a
card?
lot.
She came away with a.
I like her a lot.
That's another name for you out there. So I'm looking forward to this new division. We actually have a fighting champion now.
I say they bring back Tara LaRosa.
You know what? Shout out to Tara LaRosa. Yeah, let's get Tara LaRosa versus Joanna or Nico Montano or Valentina Shevchenko. Let's get that going. But all right, let's talk about the main event. Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega.
God almighty, I hope what my phone just told me wasn't the main event of SmackDown.
Do I want to know?
Well,
We'll
who
see.
the fuck are the Vegas boys, and why the fuck are they fighting against Shane McMahon and The Miz?
I don't. Moving on. Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega. I'm gonna start this one off. Now, mind you, I didn't see the whole fight. I only saw highlights of this fight. But from what I saw, this looked like a bloody. I don't even know if you would call it a war. It looked a lot like it was one-sided to a certain degree, especially in the later rounds.
Later rounds, maybe, but Ortega held his own.
Right.
It just, I think it started to mount up on him.
But oh my God, from the numbers that I saw from this fight, Max Holloway landed the most significant strikes in a UFC fight ever. And I got to go back and watch this thing from beginning to end. But from what I saw, he looked like he just put on a clinic.
I watched the fight, so they were back and forth a lot for the first couple rounds, but then as it got towards the end of the fight, Ortega was a fucking dog, first of all, because he was standing up for the majority of that.
Right.
And he still got up, and he wasn't finished.
But basically,
The doctor would not let him off the stool. But his eye was like a fucking golf ball under his eye.
He had an eye under his eye?
Yeah. Well, dude, it looked like a fucking golf ball from here down. Like his whole cheekbone was just like, his shit was swelled up. But I mean, it was a damn good fight, and I think this fight just further solidifies Max Holloway might have an argument for being the best 145-pound fighter ever.
I was going to ask that question.
I think he has an argument because now he's beaten Aldo. I mean, granted, he beat Aldo when he was older, I should say.
But he beat him twice and finished him twice.
He beat him twice, finished him twice. He's beaten pretty much everybody at that division. The only one that he didn't get to fight was Conor, and Conor's not in that division anymore.
No, he fought Conor.
Yeah, but he lost.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't get to run it back since he's been on that run.
So, and that's kind of the question I was going to ask. So, of those three, basically it's Conor, Aldo, Holloway. Those are pretty much the three that's in the conversation for greatest featherweight of all time. Who would you pick as your greatest of all time in that division?
I got to go Holloway because I don't think Conor had enough fights at 45 to solidify him as the best at 145.
Okay.
Not compared to the other two, first of all. Secondly, Aldo's a fucking Hall of Famer. Okay,
Right.
He's on the end of his career now, but let's not forget the fact that he didn't lose for 10 fucking years.
True.
Okay, so that's...
And let's also not forget that Conor McGregor is pretty much undefeated in that division. He's beaten the other two in this.
He has
this
lost
argument,
in that
so.
division, though.
Ooh,
He has.
It's a very good. It's a very good conversation.
It's. I mean,
And I think Holloway has like the longest win streak.
He's
right now,
got the longest
13
win streak in the UFC.
13 in a
He's
row.
got the most wins at featherweight at this point, and he's got the most title defenses. I mean,
I mean, it's a damn good argument, man.
I'm just, to me, man, I feel like that edges him out. I feel like he's covered the three criteria as far as being a champion for a weight class. You have the most title defenses, you have the most wins at that weight class, and you've beaten every one of the big names that was available to you.
Except for Conor McGregor.
Yeah, but he didn't ever get to run that back. That fight was talked about for how long before Conor went to 55 and eventually to whatever, and it never got ran back. So don't get me wrong, Conor deserves all the credit in the world for beating Holloway, and I'm not making an excuse for that. I'm just saying I don't think they're the same fighter. Because when he fought Conor the first time,
it was early in his career.
Had they fought on that run, how do we know that it would have went the same way? Especially considering Conor lost his last fight. Technically, his last couple fights, if you count the Floyd fight.
Okay. I don't count the Floyd fight.
Well, that's why I said if you count the Floyd fight.
So, naturally, the next question is, what's next for Max Holloway? My opinion, he basically has...
I think he goes to 55.
He basically has two choices. He either moves up to 55 and challenges like a Tony Ferguson or someone like
I'd
that.
love to see that, and Tony Ferguson already tweeted about it. He said, "Let's run it."
Well, I say 3 choices. Either he moves up to 55 and faces like a Ferguson or something like that. Faces probably a Chad Mendez. I think Chad Mendez is probably like a person that's probably next in line. But pretty much Holloway's cleared out that whole division. Third thing, settle the debate. Fight Conor McGregor at 155.
Yeah, Conor won't. If they fight at 55, Conor's not going to fight.
Oh, no. 45 is not going to happen. But have the two of them fight at 155
Dude,
just to say.
Max already pretty much told us what his next move was. You didn't watch the fight, so you didn't get to see it. But in his post-fight interview, he said, anyone that wants to keep talking junk and calling me out at 155, he said, let's run it. He said, I'll take these dudes at 155, too. He goes, it ain't nothing.
So, Ferguson?
I'm totally cool with
But
that.
knowing Tony Ferguson, he's probably going to want his
Tony Ferguson
fight.
Tony Ferguson already said he'd take the fight. I just told you. He tweeted about it saying he'd take the fight.
He'd probably take it, but I could see him
He knows
wanting
that
his championship.
Khabib will not fight anytime soon, dude. It won't matter. Khabib is not going to fight
Oh, yeah, I
anytime
forgot
soon
about
because of
that.
what happened.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
So what are you going to do in the meantime? You got a fight that's bound to sell a lot of fucking tickets.
Right.
You're stupid if you don't take that fight.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because no one's going to touch that title for a while.
Well-
An interim title, but they ain't going to fight Khabib anytime soon.
So what do you see next for Brian Ortega?
I think
what
he
is-
has a top 5, top 10 fight. He'll be back. He's not going to be done. I think he gets another top-tier fight, but he's going to have to fight a couple times to get another title shot because he got beat up.
So, and listen to a couple podcasts today, to get ready for this topic. Was there anything that you saw from Brian Ortega that needs to change or something?
He
any
needs
major
better stand-up.
Okay. And that's kind of what I was hearing, too.
He needs better stand-up. Like, he's a fucking dog because he took shots, and he landed shots. Like, don't get it twisted. He was hitting Holloway. But I think the difference in that fight is that Max Holloway was so much more crisp on his feet. And at the end, he was making Ortega miss.
Is it one of those, there's nothing wrong with Brian Ortega's striking, it's just that he just went up against a guy that's that much better than him?
No,
or does Brian,
he needs some
Brian
work.
Okay.
He needs some work on his boxing, in my
Okay.
opinion. And again, this isn't shitting on him at all.
Right.
Like, dude, he landed punches. It's not because he's like so sloppy that he's just throwing haymakers. I just think if his striking were tightened up a little bit,
Mhm.
I think, I'm not saying he would have won the fight, but it would have put him in a lot better standing with it. Because I don't think he would have got caught with some of the shots he did had he had a little bit better maybe head movement or foot movement or whatever.
Technique stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, it's the little things. But at the same time, though, you're in a fight. And just because you might have the best technique in the world doesn't mean that's how that's going to play out in a fight either.
Okay. Well, let's move on a little bit. Was there anything else in MMA you wanted to talk about? Is one thing I wanted to talk about. Anything you had in mind?
So my buddy Fabio just let me know that Sage Northcutt, even though I knew he signed with ONE FC, that it might be because he might have got popped with the steroids thing because
Allegedly.
His dad was part of the
That was the Balco?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Again, I don't know if any of that shit's true, but it's interesting.
For legal purposes, allegedly.
It's interesting though.
I've had, where's the bell? Hold on. I've actually stood next to this kid before, and when you ever seen a Ken doll?
Yeah. I mean, I figured
Like,
that was the
that-
comparison you were going to make, that or
Like,
In Sync or the Backstreet Boys.
Like, no one should look that like
He looks like Nick Carter from back in the day, bro.
perfect is the only word that really comes into my head. No one should really
He's
look
pretty
that
boy
perfect.
personified.
Yeah, and like I've actually seen him fight live too, and I just remember
See, they don't only ring the bell for me, motherfuckers.
I'm ranking for myself, but I just remember looking at this kid and I'm like, something's like You ever heard of what's the? I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was the Marinovich Project. He was his quarterback out of, I forgot where he was from. He was a college quarterback, but basically his whole life was dedicated to being the best quarterback in the world. His father basically took him as a little kid and just drilled him to death and made him into this quarterback machine. And that's what Sage Northcutt reminded me of. So when I look at him, I'm like, human beings really aren't supposed to be built like that.
Well, bro, haven't you seen any of the stuff on the countdowns where like him and his dad are on there and they talk about how his dad's had him dieting since he was like fucking 12?
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Front of the microphone only, please.
Yeah, that's the exact same.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm just saying what you're saying is exact fact, and they've shown it.
I'm waiting for the Sage Northcutt 30 for 30. I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's gonna be great television. But I mean, if he is on the juice, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody's on the juice. But him, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Allegedly.
I mean, dude, he's built like a brick shit house. And not that people can't be built like brick shit houses, but I mean,
Right.
just the vascularity in the shit. Like as much as that motherfucker's veins.
Look at
pop
those
out,
muscles.
9 times out of 10, when somebody's shit is
That's
like
what man is.
that defined,
Big muscular man.
steroids. Bet you if we had, what's that guy? Dr. Shit.
Dr. K.
Yeah, Dr. K. If we had him here, bet he would say it.
We might see him at Astronomicon. You never know. But speaking of ONE FC, that's one thing I wanted to bring up. Then we'll move on to pro wrestling. ONE FC just signed a 3-year deal with Turner Sports, and ONE FC has been grabbing a lot of talent. You got your Sage Northcutts. They got Mighty Mouse and pretty much that whole division.
Eddie Alvarez. Shinya Aoki.
So they've been signing talent, and like I was sitting there trying to think, like, okay, they're signing all this American
Nikki
talent.
Holskin.
They're signing all this American talent. What are they going to do with it? They're going to have to put this on TV somehow, and then bam, I get the alert on my phone. 3-year deal with Turner Sports.
Well,
So I'm
the
definitely
good
looking
thing
forward to
about
that.
ONE FC though, bro, is all the people, a lot of the people that are in like the higher up positions for them, dude, are all, ex high level MMA fighters. You got Misha Tate's the VP, I believe.
Yep.
And she's a UFC Hall of Famer. You've got Rich Franklin, UFC Hall of Famer. He's involved. You've got who was the other name?
Chun-Li?
I don't know if he's involved with him, but I know Rich Franklin and Misha Tate are. And I mean, just that alone. Julie Ketzie's part of Invicta. Nope. So, yeah, just those two big names alone, though.
Right.
Like, you've got people who know the game, helping with that. And I know that there's those that are going to say, sometimes that can be a blessing or a curse because people that have been in the game, might be a little jaded. But, I mean, I think it's a good marketing strategy, especially for an up-and-coming promotion.
Right. But it's just one of those things where it's like they're working on something, and we finally know what it is. But let's go ahead and move to wrestling, man. Before we talk about TLC and take a look at that card, is there anything outside of that or outside of WWE period that you want to bring up for the show, man?
How about the fact that Joey Janela just announced this morning that there's not only going to be one, but there's going to be 2 Joey Janela spring break cards and totally separate cards, so they're totally different cards, WrestleMania weekend, because the first one sold out so quick.
So from what I was hearing, like where I'm pretty sure it's his show where it's going to be at. It's kind of far away from.
It is a little bit
where everything is going to be going on, and I think his is in like New Jersey somewhere.
Yep, but it's still sold out in 30 minutes.
I kind of wish I was going now, man.
Bro, when the fuck are you going to get it through your head that if we're going to do a wrestling show, that's the best place for us to get interviews? But
hey, man, hashtag money talks.
Man, don't give me that shit. You were traveling all over the place for UFC, motherfucker.
Hey, I have a thing for the thing you said a little bit ago.
Huh?
It took me a while because the internet's kind of slow right now for some reason, but
hit it. Wait, I can hear it through the headphones.
hold on.
One more again.
What in the fuck are we about to listen to?
I think I know what this is.
He must be on like a long face.
Oh, muscly on paper, boy. Get back here.
It would have been funnier if I had the clip at the time you said it.
Wait, let's rewind that conversation. So yeah, vascular muscular men. Yes.
Too late, dude. It's done.
Oh man.
That's it. That's done.
Thank you for ruining my parade, Kyle. But
Fuck your parade, not just fuck your couch. Fuck your parade.
but so let's talk about that. You're going to Mania. They just announced that NXT is going to be that Friday, which some people were saying is because of the whole New Japan Ring of Honor show on Saturday. Man,
No, it's not. It's because they don't want to compete. I take that back. Yes, it is. They don't want to compete. They don't want to compete directly with them.
right. But
Because that show sold out so damn quick.
so for you, someone that's going to be there,
Maybe.
maybe. So now that NXT is going to be Friday, basically your Saturday would open up. What show would you want to, other than the New Japan show, which is pretty much sold out right now? What indie shows would you be interested in going to on a Saturday
Sammy
night?
Callahan.
The breakfast pancakes and
I would
whatever
be
it is?
down with Sammy Callahan. I'd be down with Joey Janela. But honestly, as far as Saturday goes right now, if I do go, it's all going to depend on who they put in the Hall of Fame, because I haven't been to the Hall of Fame yet, and I would like to go to that, but I don't want to go unless it's a class of people that
You actually
I really want to see. Now, if I could have, I would have liked to gone at when I was in Orlando, because I liked that class a lot. I would have liked to have been there for that one.
I honestly don't even remember who was in that.
That was the one where you had.
Was it Goldberg?
No, that was this year. You had Rock and Roll Express went in. You had, or not Rock and Roll Express. That was
Freebirds?
34. That was 32.
Damn it.
Fuck. Give me a minute. Kurt Angle went into that one.
Okay.
The whole DDP went in. I think it was
Okay.
Kurt Angle, DDP. They had a bunch of good names on there and a bunch of good speeches.
Okay.
I would have liked to seen that one, but other than that, I mean, that's going to be the real determining factor if I do go on how my Saturday.
I mean, and to be fair, you're more of a WWE guy yourself. You watch indies, but you know WWE is basically what you know. So basically completing that
That's
whole.
not fair anymore. It might have been when we started the show, but
Well, I'm just saying, like, we had to kind of pull you into the indie scene, but basically you want to complete your whole like WrestleMania WWE package.
well, don't get it twisted. I mean, if it's either way, I just literally talked to my buddy Cody. Shout out to Cody, that Devin and I met in Chicago.
Okay.
Well,
I thought you were talking about that
I met him in New Orleans. But anyway, well, I was just talking to him about it today. I really would like to go to that Joey Janela show.
Okay.
I've heard nothing but good things about that. I'd like to hit the Rev Pro shows that Sammy Callahan's been doing.
That's a go.
I like those. I mean, I would if I could. With how much they want for NXT right now, dude, I would I would have considered it anyway, but I would still like to go to that New Japan show. I really would like to go to that New Japan show. I've liked everything I've seen from New Japan and Ring of Honor when I actually was watching some of it.
I think this year, I think I have to hit one of those New Japan American shows because it did 2 or 3.
Let's make it happen, bro.
2 or 3 of them this year in California. I think I got to hit.
Let's
one of those.
make it happen, man.
I can't make any promise. Man, I don't know where I'm. Well,
What the fuck does that got to do with anything?
I can't talk about that right now.
Because you can't travel from there the same way you travel from here.
Hey, look, man, it's a lot.
It's
It's a lot of stuff, life stuff that I can't really get into right now. That's not wrestling related. But yeah, I had to figure. I got
even crossing.
I would say I got really, really comfortable. I don't know why.
He can't deny it now. You can see it on the camera.
It's getting real comfortable. Randy,
Let me switch camera angles. Boom.
do I even want to know? Oh, you got both of them looked up?
Yeah.
Wait,
I've been switching back and forth.
what? I'm in.
Oh, shit,
I'm in
now-
4K.
No, you're not.
Oh.
Just because the camera can do it doesn't mean we can.
It's
It's Facebook. I think it's limited to like
720 or something.
720.
Okay, but
I don't know. I just push the buttons.
and we appreciate you, Randy, for pushing buttons.
Especially drunk Randy.
Yes. Hey, Randy. You all right over there?
It was just like
Go get him another shot.
a neat pour of bourbon. It wasn't a lot of alcohol.
Go get him another shot.
Shots.
Ooh, but it was Weller.
I don't think I've ever had that one.
Good luck.
Wait, question.
Yes.
So the Star Wars decanter came back, huh?
It did. Or it was replaced. One or the other.
Who the fuck keeps stealing the thing is what I want to know.
It's been a while, but that one was gone for months. I think it was like 6 months or so now.
Yeah, we stopped taking pictures with it, but I think we got to bring that back.
Why the fuck? Who get what?
All right, let's move. Let's get back to wrestling.
People suck.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the TLC card for this weekend. For those of you who don't know, tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh my!
It's going on this weekend in San Jose, I think. I think it's San Jose. Yeah, it is San Jose. Last week we kind of talked about the general state of wrestling. I went on my little rant about.
Yeah, you got our video kicked off Facebook.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. But I was upset, man, and people were other people were too.
Don't worry, if it gets kicked off this week, I'll take blame for it.
Wait, you got a video pulled?
They didn't pull it, but I couldn't do anything with it because they said we had too much profanity and there was too much stuff on the screen.
That's a thing on Facebook now?
Yeah, they said there was too much profanity and they said there was too much text on the screen, so it wouldn't let me boost it.
That's weird.
It's stupid.
I just want to use every single profanity word in the dictionary right now just to see what happens.
Well, don't do it.
You have no idea how difficult it is not to do that right now. But yeah, so we talked about, where WWE is right now. They even kind of addressed it with Seth Rollins' promo on Monday Night Raw yesterday as we're recording this. Let's talk about that for a second. I thought that was hilarious how they basically said, hey, Baron Corbin, since you've taken over the show, Monday Night Raw sucks. The ratings are in the toilet.
I was watching this morning and I was like, wow. Like, all right. They realized they screwed up, apparently.
Like, we're tired of watching people pee and stuff. And so let us that they are
How
listening.
about how they called out the Revival? Like, they were
Yeah.
like, you got the Revival.
You got one of the best
losing-
tag teams losing the what is a lucha house
They
party?
literally named everything that people have bitched about. Everything. And they hoed themselves the whole promo, basically.
And honestly, I laid into them last week. I told them that basically what they're doing is terrible. I thought that was a great idea.
I did, too.
I
honestly, the TLC match didn't turn out to be as bad as I thought it would either. I mean, I'm not saying it was great, but it wasn't bad.
For it to be a televised TLC match, it was good. It was really
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I wouldn't put it up there with like Edge and Christian or
Right.
Money in the Bank or something like that. But
right.
I mean, I thought it was pretty good, and I thought the way that they had like the thing with Slater, even though I don't like him having to be a ref, but
Right.
I mean, I thought that was cool how he played it off, like knowing he had to like
I got kids, man.
protect his job and all that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw was good this week. I liked how they kicked it off with I don't even know if they have a name right now, but Roode and Gable winning the tag championships.
Yo, did you peep out how Chad Gable's got trunks on and how weird that looked?
I think it's a good look for him, man.
I'm not saying it's a bad look. I'm just saying
I like
it was weird considering he's worn a singlet.
Right.
the
I mean,
whole
yeah, it
time.
was definitely a little bit of a eye adjustment
And,
situation,
like,
but
I kind of got like, this is bad, and I don't mean this is a slight on Chad Gable because Chad Gable's very good. But like all I could think when I saw that is I'm like, dude, why does this seem like Bobby's like the dad that Gable's trying to look up to? Like that's just the whole vibe I got off that.
So
scene.
they're gonna they're gonna announce later on that Gable's really his son, just like Jordan.
Bobby
was,
Roode adopted me.
Hey, is Jason Jordan still Kurt Angle's son?
Yeah, he took a picture on Instagram and he said, "Yeah, it's father-son time. It was good to see."
Recently?
Yeah,
Sweet. I wonder if they're gonna. I'm waiting to see what the payoff.
I think he's going to come back even bigger than he was before. I think he's about to come back jacked.
Speaking of what? Side note. I know I told you I was watching Tough Enough from 2015 this past weekend, and Jason Jordan was on there, helping out, doing some drills and stuff. Like, man, that dude's been jacked for a while, man.
Oh, dude, he's been big from the jump. I mean, but before he left, dude, that guy was in insane shape.
Oh yeah.
And even now, like I've seen some pictures from like the most recent Tap Out photo shoot they did, and he looks even bigger than he was before.
Yeah,
like this dude put
off,
in some fucking work.
Yeah, getting off the road, putting in some work, rehabbing, man. Yeah,
he put some fucking work in, dude, because he looks even bigger than he was before, and not bigger in a bad way.
Right. All right, well, yeah, let's go ahead and start getting into this card, man. But
so are we ever gonna get back to fucking doing wagers for this?
No,
shit?
because no one has ever paid up on Survivor Series
never
from
lost
last fucking year.
So fuck you. I never got paid up for the last one I won either. So what's your case?
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't, because Tony lost that one and he didn't ever pay up on it.
Oh.
So now what are you gonna say?
Well, until I get
So fuck the fact that I didn't get mine.
Look, man, somebody pause ahead of time. Somebody got to get wet before we start doing this again.
I didn't say it had to even be the water bet, but like,
oh no, it's the water bet. It was a water bet. Somebody,
and that was at 42 minutes and 25 seconds.
Devin said it was wet.
Never mind. I was about to sing a song, but I'm leaving it alone. For those of you Twister fans out there, check out Get It Wet. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander in a rematch from Super Showdown for the Cruiserweight Championship. Hopefully this is not on the kickoff show.
I don't give a fuck if it is or it ain't. It's going to be fucking awesome.
I really want to see the Cruiserweights get,
I feel like they are starting to get more of a push, though.
I mean more on like, the pay-per-views. Don't make them the pre-show match, which they didn't last time, and it was a damn good match. I want to see them keep it going.
You mentioned Super Showdown. I mean, they made a big deal out of Buddy Murphy having a title shot at home.
Of course, but really, was there a pre-show for that?
I don't think so.
It's just the main show. But Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. Your thoughts, sir?
Great fucking match. It's gonna be awesome. If I got to pick one, Mustafa Ali will take the title. Although I love
Mustafa Ali.
Not Mustafa Ali. I miss fucking
Cedric Alexander.
So what the fuck? Holy Jesus Christ. That was not what I meant to say. I just totally brain fucking farted. What the fuck? I don't even know.
If this episode gets pulled, it's not because of me.
You already ruined it. Anyway.
How did I ruin it?
Anyway, in that case, no, Buddy Murphy keeps title. I don't know why I was thinking it was Ali again. When you said rematch, I was thinking Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Sorry. Buddy Murphy keeps title for sure.
I think Cedric gets it back.
Hell no. No way. If anybody takes it, it's going to be Mustafa Ali. Watch.
I think they're setting up something. I think they're setting up a triple threat match at a bigger pay-per-view between Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali.
Okay, that would be dope too, but I think if anyone's going to win the title away from him, it's going to be Ali.
And one thing I don't understand, why didn't they make this a ladder match? A cruiserweight ladder match I think would be great.
I agree.
And it puts them,
especially
in
with
spotlight.
Those two in it, I feel like it would be good.
Gives them a perfect spotlight, but hey.
Baby steps, Devin.
Baby step. Okay, here's something we're gonna have to talk about for a little bit. Natalya versus Ruby Riott in a tables match.
Ruby Riott was fine on Monday.
Yes, she was.
First of all,
yes, definitely.
Now that that's out of the way,
how do you feel about this whole Jim the Anvil Neidhart
First of
story?
all, that was cold-blooded as fuck. I don't know if it might have been a little bit too soon, but for heel heat, shit, they were mad as fuck at her for that. And if they actually used that table on Sunday, boy,
I'm pretty sure that Natty signed off on this,
Of course she did.
but
They wouldn't do that to her like that, especially not that close.
right. But if I was like Vince or Stephanie or Triple H, if I was running the company and she came to me and said, "Hey, why don't we do this?" I don't know if I would go with it because it just
In my
it seems too personal and
in
too
my
close.
gut, I think that that's something that creative probably came up with that Natty okayed. I feel like
But I'm just saying in general. I feel like it's in bad taste.
I agree.
And this is me saying
I
this.
agree, but how do we know that it's not like Natty was like, my dad would like to be involved in the storyline? Perfect example of that, since we listened to past guests of the show's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. If you listen to the G-Generation X in Your House episode that just aired on Friday, they were talking about how like things are done in bad taste, and when Neidhart was on his way out to this wasn't particularly bad taste, but they were talking about how when Neidhart was getting ready to leave the WCW, they like just dogged him out the last few weeks.
But
like, how do we know that Natty didn't say that?
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just
Don't get me wrong. I think
even if Natty came to Vince
I
or somebody
agree.
and said, "Hey, I want to do this," I don't know if it doesn't fit.
I think
it just feels.
I think it was a good move for Heat, but at the same time, I'd maybe a little too soon. Right. Although I have to give big credit to Ruby Riott because I feel like she did a damn good job with that promo.
So who you got in this match?
Ruby Riott.
So okay,
I feel like
I think you're right, but I just feel
I think Natty deserves the win.
I think the right thing to do is have Natty win the match, but I think they're gonna go ahead and go through with it. This whole
Exactly. I mean, I think Natty needs to win that match, but I think Ruby's going to win that match.
I think it's the other way around. I think Ruby needs to win the match.
She don't,
but I think she's going to win it.
She
but
don't
I don't
need
think
that. But think about it, bro.
They got to build up the Riot Squad.
Yeah, but even if they do, she don't need that win as bad as Natty does. When's the last time Natty had a big enough win?
Natty is basically the veteran that puts the people.
That's what I'm saying. When's the last time that Natty had a huge big win? And it's ironic that
she doesn't need them. She's a made woman. What I'm saying is they need to build up the Ruby Riott character in that squad.
Yeah, but you can't have someone become the lovable loser either.
No,
and they've basically made it like some people. Well,
I'm saying
in a way,
the
she's
right thing for
like
this
the
story.
Sidekick too.
The right thing for this story is for Natty to win, just because it'd be just really bad taste if Ruby wins the match. But I think Ruby's going to win because she needs it. And hashtag Vince McMahon. But let's move on.
Hey, dude, that shit was fire, even if it was in poor taste.
All right, next
kudos to them for having some nuts.
The triple threat tag match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Bar.
That's going to be a dope-ass match.
Versus the New Day versus the Usos.
Usos are going to win the title back.
I don't...
Especially considering that they're going to do another rap battle thing like they did before.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they did it tonight.
Oh. Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Usos are going to win the title. They haven't had them in a while. They've had some time away from it.
I'm definitely looking forward to this match, though.
It's going to be a damn good match.
Definitely looking forward to it.
All three of those teams.
I'll go with the Usos as well.
All three of those teams are damn good.
All right, next match we got Elias versus Bobby Lashley in a ladder match with a guitar.
You actually sound like Leo Rush.
I was just watching him on Instagram earlier today. This is a ladder match where there will be a guitar suspended above the ring, and the first to retrieve it can use it as a weapon. So instead of a guitar on a pole match, it's a guitar ladder match. I'm gonna jump on this one first. I think Elias needs to win this one. I think he should win it. But I think they're going to give it to Bobby Lashley in this one. I think they're actually trying to build Bobby Lashley up as a credible heel. I think Leo Rush is going to get involved somehow. So I'm going to pick Bobby Lashley. But I'm definitely I felt like Bobby Lashley earlier this year should have been pushed a lot more but Roman Reigns was still around. But if he's getting a push as a heel, I like it, just as long as he stops pointing at his ass. Your thoughts?
I think Bobby Lashley is going to win this match, but although I can understand
Lashley.
Although I can understand the argument for the fact that he's working with Bobby Lashley, who's one of the top guys they have, I want to see Elias do something to make motherfuckers take him serious, because I like the guy's character. I think he's good in the ring. And clearly, he's over with the fans because they chant right the fuck along with him every time he comes out, even when he was talking shit to him. I just would like to see him in a little bit more prominent spot. But that being said, I mean, Bobby Lashley is a big name too. So, I mean, he's not doing too bad.
All right, let's speed this up a little bit. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre's going to squash him.
I hope not. I think they got to do something with Finn Balor, damn it. Something. Do something with Finn.
No shit. Agreed.
Shit. I'm going to save this one for last. I think this.
I vote for Finn Balor.
You like Finn Balor?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the abdominals.
I love how he just looked around like, yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, like
It's the abdominals. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot you came to Thomas McGee's. What is that time? That was last time. Let's go to Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. Do you think there's going to be a match?
Yes.
2, who do you think is going to win the match?
Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I agree. I think the reason why they cut that promo of, Baron Corbin is the worst general manager ever is because they're going to get rid of him as a general manager. I don't think it lasts very long.
That
either.
being said, although I didn't like Corbin really as general manager, I hope that he doesn't just like fall back to like some mediocre mid card either, because I like Baron Corbin, and I think given the right opportunity and him taking the opportunity and seizing it, I think Baron Corbin could be a very credible threat in the heavyweight division.
Okay. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship.
Probably the match I'm probably looking. Well, take that back. I was gonna say
saving that one for last.
Yeah, I was gonna say the match I'm looking forward to most, but it's not. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, but I can see Dean winning.
I think Dean wins. Add some hardware to that household. Let's go Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax for the women's championship.
Rousey. I think it's gonna be Rousey, and I think Nia's promos have gotten a little bit better.
You do.
I don't want to say they were good, but I think it was better than the first one they had her do, which was like drug out for like ever, and then she would stop and then start talking again. Like, I think Ronda's gonna win, dude. But I at least respect the fact that WWE is finally getting to the point that people aren't stupid, and like everybody knows that she blew Becky's shit out and broke her face. Right. So now they're going to try to say, well, fuck it, I can't change it, so I'm going to use it.
Yeah, I got Ronda in this one too. All right, one more match. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan.
This is another match I'm really looking forward to. TLC is a low-key sleeper.
I agree. I got Bryan in this one.
Yeah, I think Bryan's going to retain, but I think it's going to be a badass match. I also could see that ending somehow in a disqualification and them doing it again. But, yeah, I think it's going to be great. And
also the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge is on here too, but we don't know who's going to be in that match yet. So the match that we want to talk about, this will be the last match we talk about, and then we'll get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event, I think it should be.
It should be.
Asuka versus
the Bazooka
versus Charlotte Flair.
It's been a minute since I've been able to use the tagline since she hasn't been in a big match in a while.
Exactly. So Asuka versus Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. You got the Empress versus the Queen versus the Man. Who you got? Your thoughts?
I think Becky's going to retain, and then somehow in the match, Becky and Charlotte are clearly going to get into it, and then that's going to just push it towards Royal Rumble or Mania.
All right. Devin Theory coming up. I think Asuka wins this match. Here's why. They got to get that belt off of Becky Lynch. but you don't want to pin her for that belt.
Why do they got to get the belt off her?
Let me finish. You got to get the belt off of Becky Lynch. You don't want to pin her to get the belt off of her. Asuka climbs the ladder, gets the belt. Asuka's starting to climb up. Give her moment. She's the champion. Royal Rumble is going to be very, 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 very big. I think they're going to do what the classic WWE double winner. And I think Charlotte and Becky go to Monday Night Raw so they can go up against Nia Jax and or Ronda Rousey for Mania.
That's a hell of a theory, bro.
And there's going to be some kind of trade where they get Bayley and Sasha on the SmackDown. They're being wasted over there. There's nothing going on for them over there. All the heat is between Ronda, Nia, Charlotte, Becky. So you got to get Becky and Charlotte over to Raw, get other two horsewomen back to SmackDown so they can get lit up on fire on that brand, and then you finally get your main event. I don't know. I haven't figured it all the way out, but one, if not both of them, got to go to Monday Night Raw. So you got to get that belt off of Becky Lynch right now.
Okay, so I like the theory, but I don't quite think it's going to play out that way. If anything, I think Becky holds onto the belt here.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, I don't know that I got Charlotte as the winner of the Rumble, but somehow things are going to get furthered with them, which you already know is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But where I differ at, I think the 4 horsewomen thing is inevitable, and I think that it's coming. But I think more than anything, I think if they were to bring Shayna and Jessamine and Marina in, I think it would have to be like a night after WrestleMania thing.
They're not a part of my theory at all.
Well,
No, what I'm saying is the main event of WrestleMania will be a women's match, and it will have Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah,
Ronda,
that's what I'm saying.
Nia Jax,
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Okay,
I think that Becky and Ronda will be the main women's match. First of all, I could see that being the first ever women's main event, and I would not be mad at it at all.
Well, but no. I would be mad if there's not. If Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey are not in the main event at WrestleMania, I will be pissed.
I can't argue.
At least the two of them have to be in the main event. I think you also got to add Charlotte and Nia Jax to it too.
No, I think you could get away with those two going at it one-on-one, and I'll tell you why. And I think it also plays into the 4 horsewomen thing. I think you have to have them one-on-one, and then when they do, whomever wins, whether it's Ronda or Becky, I think especially given, even though that wasn't how they originally wanted to go, with Becky getting her face fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Becky and Charlotte have already shown that they both still have respect for each other, A. And B, now that Charlotte's beating the shit out of Ronda Rousey with the stick, you could easily keep Becky heel, turn Charlotte back heel, and then have, the rest of them come all together. And I think if they do the 4 horsewomen thing, they won't do it without Marina and Shayna. And I say that because everyone knows that they've got their group. They all know it.
But see, I don't think that ties in at all at WrestleMania.
Not at WrestleMania. I'm not saying it's going to happen there. I think at WrestleMania, I think it's going to be Becky versus Ronda. But I think that match is going to be the catalyst.
But what I'm saying is, I think you're missing a very key point. I got to wrap it up, but key point: Becky, Nia got beef. Becky, Ronda got beef. Becky, Charlotte got beef. Charlotte, Becky got beef. Charlotte, Ronda got beef. Nia just want to punch any and everybody. 4-woman title match for the championship at Mania.
I'm not saying that match can't happen. I'm just saying that match.
No, I'm saying that's the match.
I think it's going to be Becky and Ronda still. But
okay, but hey, that's neither here nor there. I'm definitely looking forward to TLC this weekend, but we got to get up out of here. So, Kyle, why don't you go ahead and give out your social medias, all that good stuff, and any announcements?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Detroit Knockout, Detroit Knockout. Make sure you're following the show page, Knockouts and 3 Counts Podcast. Be on the lookout on our page here in the next week. We're going to make sure that we can get the iTunes thing up, hopefully within the next week or two, and get that all straightened out. Also, December 29th, make sure you come out to Cataclysm. BCWA. Shout out to Mike Blackwell. Yeah. that's pretty much it. Also, good luck to Angie Jennings and Marco Smallman. Go fuck some shit up.
And that's why we're not going to be on iTunes.
If Joe Rogan can be on iTunes, I can be on
my bad.
iTunes.
Facebook. I meant Facebook.
You
I was
just
like-
get an explicit tag.
I was about to say, first of all, if Joe Rogan is on iTunes, nothing I've said is worse than some of the things I've heard Joe Rogan say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I excuse me, frog. Excuse me.
Are you Devin McKenzie today?
I am Devin McKenzie. You can find me on Twitter at Devin63. That's DEVINTHE63. You can find me on Instagram at All Steak No Sizzle. That's one word. If you're looking for a car, check out SouthfieldQualityCars.com. Once you find your car and say, hey, I want that Jeep Eagle. Yeah, I went old school. I want a Jeep Eagle. Go to Southfield Quality Cars and use the reference code 19309 and you'll receive $500 off of your purchase. Make sure you check out the Reality Era News Facebook group where we talk wrestling and all that good stuff. Check out my other podcast, All Steak No Sizzle. Haven't put one up yet, but it will be coming soon. And once again, check out BCWA December 29th, Cataclysm. Be there. And look forward to next week where we have the Mysterious Bravado once again, who'll be making his BCWA debut. Looking forward to talking to him once again. All that being said,
Fuck your cow.
thank you.
Looney Tunes.
Order, Stewie.
Fuck storage and she goes.